Dragon Age Origins is the game that does not need a presentation, an iconic child of BioWare, back from the times they were capable of making incredible games with a soul, and without a doubt, one of the most memorable, highly rated classic fantasy RPGs of all times, loved and recommended by gamers from multiple generations. Yet, for people who only heard about it but never tried it yet, there is an issue that it looks pretty dated, and for those thinking about replaying it again after many years on the shelf, the possible issue is that veteran players usually remember it from start to finish, so not much can surprise them at this point. One day I got this itch myself and researched into what kind of mods were available for the game. To my absolute shock, in the best possible meaning, it turned out there are not just simple mods like improved textures or reshaped presets, but a huge and complex modding stage that allows to actually completely transform the game in multiple aspects. To fix huge number of bugs, drastically improve graphics, improve and add new cutscenes, add quality of life features to improve gameplay comfort and save your time, new armors and weapons, up to absolutely brand new level of modding, such as expanding companion dialogues, adding new interactions and events to romances, and even add brand new classes to the game with unique abilities and talents. This video is both a showcase and a simple step-by-step tutorial to remaster Dragon Age Origins, providing maximum possible improvement and expansion with minimal number of mods, while the video will be instructing you on every step. In less than an hour, the game will be ready for you to take on the adventure in the world of Tedas and enjoy the legendary game all anew, while preserving its original atmosphere and charm. There is also a complete modding guide linked down below in the video description in case you will be hungry for even more mods, and the playlist of a heavy modded walkthrough that demonstrates of how it can look and play like. Make yourself comfortable and let's begin. First of all, Dragon Age Origins Ultimate Edition is strongly recommended for a proper modding session. Many mods will not work properly on other versions, as they often require certain assets from many DLCs included in the Ultimate version. Also, if you own the game in Steam, put this video on pause for a couple minutes and follow the mini tutorial for proper DLCs download, linked down below in the video description, and then continue back here. I personally recommend game version from GOG, Good Old Games, as it does not require this and some other steps for modding. Now create a new folder somewhere on your PC, not in the game folder, let's say on your desktop. This will be a temporary folder to download your mod files to keep things organized. You can delete it after the modding is complete. Mod types and how to install them. In 99% of cases, basically aside from just a couple exceptions, mods for Dragon Age Origins are of two types: DA-zip mods and override mods. DA-zip mods are coming in a form of a .dazip file, which is basically a type of archive but for this game. This mod should be installed with an inbuilt tool called DA Updater, which you can find by going to your game installation folder, then bin ship folder, and there you will see it. Launch it once, and for this modding process, to not open the folder every time, pin it to your taskbar. To install a DA-zip mod, you first need to unzip the regular archive it comes in when you have downloaded the mod, and then just drag and drop the DA-zip file right into the DA Updater window and click Install Selected. After you will finish installing all the mods, in the game main menu, go to Downloadable Content, then Installed Content, and make sure all the DA-zip mods which are showing up as add-ons in this menu are checked in. The game should do this automatically, but do it once just in case. Override mods are the bigger percentage in total. These are just folders with certain names with files in them. After you have downloaded this mod, unzip its archive and place the specified mod folder to Documents, BioWare, Dragon Age, Packages, Core, Override folder as shown now. No additional activation check is needed here. It is important if you want all your mods to actually work properly. Follow the exact installation instructions here and do not use modern mod managers like Vortex or Mod Organizer to install Dragon Age Origins mods. This game is old and mod files usually do not have unified structure, so in almost all cases, the automated installation with modern mod managers simply will not work properly for them. We also need to apply the large address aware patch to the game. It is an old game, and no matter how much RAM your PC has, the game cannot use more than 2 GB by default. Modded game often requires more resources, which will not damage your save in any way, but can lead to out-of-memory related crashes. To prevent this and allow game to use more RAM, this patch is needed. Here, if you have a Steam game version, extra step is needed once again. Otherwise, skip it. Download the 4GB LAA patch-compatible daorigins.x, unzip the archive, and replace the daorigins.x file in your game executable folder, which is your game installation folder, bin ship folder, with the one you have just downloaded. Now download the LAA204.zip file, as shown on the image now. Unzip the archive. Launch the large address aware executable file. Choose your DA origins executable file, check the large address aware flag, save. That's it, now your game can use more memory. Also, if your whatever antivirus software will warn you about the file, it is 100% safe to ignore the warning. This patch is used literally by millions of people all around the world for over a decade, and it is totally safe. Lastly, make sure VSync is enabled in the game graphics settings, as showed on the image now. It is still unknown how this is happening exactly technically, but it is also known that playing without vertical sync can cause at least several bugs in the game related to quests and certain NPCs' movement. That's it, we are ready for the modding itself.
If I asked my men to apprehend you, they'd all run and cry big sobby tears in their courtesans' bosoms and leave me all alone to be skewered.
The first as well as biggest and most all-covering section of this mod list, essential mods that will both correct huge number of bugs and provide huge number of improvements to the gameplay in many aspects. Quint's Ultimate DAO Fix Pack stands for its name. It's an absolutely monumental work that fixes over 850 bugs in the game, mostly related to quests, dialogues and items, all done by a single mod. Manually download the QDAO Fix Pack version 3.5 main file and the QDAO Hotfix version 3.52 optional file and unzip their archives. From the main mod folder, grab the DAZip file, drag and drop it to DA Updater and press install. Now from the hotfix file, grab the QDAO hotfix version 3.52 folder and place it to Dragon Age Override mods folder, which is in Documents, BioWare, Dragon Age, Packages, Core, Override, as shown on the images now. Another large bug fixing mod is Dane Fixes. This one fixes mainly bugs with the game combat mechanics, over 100 in total. For example, did you know that some of unique weapon effects, such as Weekend's Nearby Darkspawn, were straight up not working at all? Same applies to plethora of character abilities, weak points, cleansing aura, chain lighting, curse of mortality, dual striking and many others had their main features not working or just partially working and so on. Dane's Fixes corrects all that and also provides many optional quality of life features that are improving immersion or saving your time, such as auto loot, increased movement speed out of combat, shared party lockpicking skills and many others. Download both main and optional files and unzip their archives. From the main file, place the Dane's Fixes folder to Dragon Age Origins Override mods folder as shown now. From the optional file, go into Extras folder and from it place Modules and Packages folders to Attention, Documents, BioWare, Dragon Age folder. Now go into Quality of Life folder in the mod folder and delete Auto Loot Containers and Auto Loot Kills folder in it, as we will use a better alternative for that. Then go into Tweaks folder and delete the next folders in it, Blood Control, Lucky and Rewards from all kills as shown on the image now. The two Random Encounter Frequency folders are up to you. These ones highly increase chances of most of random encounters in the game. If you're playing the game for the first or second time, it's probably better to remove these two folders as well. But if you are a Dragon Age Origins veteran, keep them to make sure you meet them all purely for the completionism sake, especially considering some of those encounters have like 1% chance to trigger or so. Lastly, go inside Extras folder and keep only the folders showed on the screenshot now, deleting the rest. The Autoloot Kills Conservative folder is optional to keep. At the one hand, it saves some time by looting hordes of enemies and without automatically picking up event-triggering items, like the version in Quality of Life folder. But many players actually love to loot stuff, so it's up to you. Nicely done. Forgotten Fixes fixes a few more bugs with character abilities. Download the main file manually and unzip it. From the Forgotten Fixes folder, place Fix Beer Shape and Fix Stunning Blows folders to Dragon Age Origins Override Mods folder. Now go into Fix Combat Magic folder and place only CMD pending attackres.ncs file, the one of a bigger file size, into, attention, Attack Resolution folder inside the Twix folder that is inside Dane's Fixes mod folder you have just installed. Approve the overwriting when asked.
Perhaps your skull was cracked worse than Mother thought.
Thank you.
Morrigan Restoration Patch is the ultimate fix and content restoration mod for the Ultimate Witch. It fixes dozens of Morrigan dialogue lines from not triggering correctly or at all in both quests and patchy banters, and even adds new fully voiced and animated scenes with her, like the one showed in the video now. Download the MRP version 110 manual file and unzip it. Place Morrigan Restoration Patch folder to Dragon Age Origins Override mod folder. Now go inside this mod folder and remove Morrigan Denerim Gate fix, Morrigan Loghain fixes, Restored Patchy Banters, Vin Connor fix, and ZDF MRP shared folder, as shown on the image now. This is needed for a proper compatibility with the Queen's Fix pack. Well done. If you have played at least once with all DLCs installed, you know how ridiculous it is. You get several dozens of items for free as soon as you begin the game at level 1. With main problems here is that many of those items are arguably strongest in entire game for some builds. This damages the game balance, seriously ruins progression feeling, and just makes no sense. Hence, while it's technically not a bug, it is an infamous and highly annoying moment. Immersive DLC Integration mod distributes all the free DLC and additionally notable items from minor story DLCs like Witch Hunt throughout the game in a lore appropriate spots, adding 53 new items through loot and soul, allowing you to gradually and logically obtain them. Download all 3 main files and unzip the archives. From each one, place the Immersive DLC Integration folder to Dragon Age Origins Override folder. Another incredibly annoying problem with playing Dragon Age Origins nowadays is that most of the game interface is not scaled to your monitor resolution at all. This makes it not quite comfortable to read the text even at Full HD resolution, while at 2K and 4K monitors, reading the text will be almost impossible without a magnifying glass. FTG UI mod allows to scale main UI elements as well as text font size to any monitor resolution, and FTG Quickbar allows to use up to all 50 quick slots regardless of display resolution and with multiple rows support, where you can also configure the settings yourself. Download the both main files as well as Quickbar's one config file and unzip them. From the main files, drag and drop their respective DAzip files as shown now to DA Updater and install them. If some of UI elements will be still too small for you, you can always configure that in the config file. These do not need to be installed anywhere, they detect the mods automatically from any folder. More detailed tooltips expands descriptions of most of abilities, buffs and debuffs, potions, traps, grenades, items and item sets bonuses to their respective tooltips, as well as with full DLC support, to give more detailed information about what and how exactly various effects do. It is an essential mod for the newcomers with the game, but it will be also very useful to returning veteran players as well. Get the More Detailed Tooltips Fixes and Tweaks main file, and from it place More Detailed Tooltips Fixes and Tweaks folder to Dragon Age Origins Override folder. Dragon Age Revived is likely the most all-covering gameplay mod for this game ever made, working as both gameplay overhaul and content add-on at the same time. The mod rebalances nearly 500 in-game items, armors, weapons, jewelry, item sets, making the arsenal of game's artifacts much more distinct. Hundreds of enemies, around 50 bosses and mini-bosses, as well as adding, as for now with more to come in future as the mod is still getting updated. Over 100 of brand new artifacts and treasures, as well as 13 new item sets, with every single new item having lore-friendly description, custom icons and often also new models, which are all immersively distributed in the game world. You can find them in chests as loot on bosses and officers and buy from various merchants. Additionally, it makes good number of cosmetic improvements to various notable NPCs' outfits, giving them brand new gear that fits their status and backstory. Dragon Age Revived makes the game world much more rewarding to explore and fight through, combat more tactical and allows much wider spectrum of character builds, due to the much more diverse arsenal of bonuses that items and item sets will now give, allowing you to replay the game as all new once again, and not just once. What's even better is that it's fully modular, with a clearly separated and structurized folders inside it, so you can remove anything you don't want. For instance, to keep only new items, or only items overhaul and new ones without enemy overhaul, or vice versa. Honestly, to make more or less detailed showcase of it would require a separate video. You can read more on the mod page, and there is also a readme file inside the mod folder which provides a most complete description of literally every mod change and feature. Download the mod file, unzip the archive and place Dragon Age Revived folder to Dragon Age Origins Override Mods folder as shown now. The last step in this section will be to install 3 more mods. Mostly they do not add anything directly themselves, but provide various gear assets that several other mods from this list need to work properly. First one is Kirkwall Exports. Download the main file and install its .da-zip file with DA updater. Next, download Kirkwall Exports fixes file. 1K textures version is recommended. And place the AAA KE fixes improves folder to Dragon Age Origins Override Mods folder. Now go inside the mod folder and delete the store scripts folder. From the Loincloths Fashion mod page, download the Loincloths Fashion main file and from its folder install the .da-zip file with DA updater. Now create a new folder and name it, let's say, Loincloths Fashion Massive Helmet Variation. Place the Helmet Massive Variation LCF GDA file inside it, and now place this folder into Dragon Age Override Mods folder. Lastly, download the LH's Awakening Darkspawn Daggers mod file and place the LH Darkspawn Daggers folder to Dragon Age Origins Override Mods folder. Now exhale. The biggest and hardest part of this mod list is done. Good job! Now to the graphics improvements to make the game look as less dated as possible, while preserving its original atmosphere at the same time. Most of the Dragon Age Origins pre-rendered intro and cutscene videos are in 720p quality, which is way far from an HD resolution nowadays. Further on, when this low-res video is getting stretched to fill bigger screens, it becomes even worse at Full HD monitors and absolutely hideous at 2K and 4K monitors. Dragon Age Big Improvement Conversion, or just DA Big, makes an AI upscale of all these videos on the level of every single frame for base game and all story DLCs. You can get either 2K or 4K version, but practically 4K version will look better even on Full HD monitor. So if your internet connection is good enough to download 15 GB archive without issues, do it. Download either version and unzip the archive. Now once again unpack with your archive tool like 7zip or WinRAR the override file. Go inside the subfolders till you see a folder named DA-Big for DA or full package. Now simply place this folder to the Dragon Age Origins override folder. Enjoy the HD cutscenes. Pixelated Shaders Begun is a tiny mod you never knew you needed before you install it. It removes pixelation when bloom and depth of field effects are applied in the game settings. No more ugly pixels in front of your face. Download the mod file and the bloom on fix file. Unzip both Create a new folder and name it Pixelated Shaders Begun. Place all the files from the main mod into it. Now from the fix one, place DA Bloom FFX file into this folder too and approve overwriting. And then place the Pixelated Shaders Begun folder to Dragon Age Origins override folder. Now we will improve more than 2400 textures in the game with just 2 mods. Download the Old Gods main file, then LLE Textures DAO and LLE Textures DAO environment from Retexturing DAO mod page, as well as Retexturing DAO fixes file from the Deck of Many Mods page. Unzip all the archives. Now make a new folder and name it 000 World-Based Texture Pack. From both main files of the 2 mods, grab all the textures from all the inner folders and dump them into the folder you just created. Now grab the texture from Retexturing DAO fixes and dump them there too, approving the overwriting. And now place the 000 World-Based Texture Pack folder to Dragon Age Origins override folder. Why such a weird folder name though? It is simple. The game has an alphabetical load order priority when it comes to conflicting mods. So the mod which folder name begins from B will take over the mod which name begins from A, and so on. This folder name will ensure that this mod will act as a large basic texture pack and get furtherly automatically overwritten with more dedicated mods in case of conflict. For instance, if you will install more mods from the complete modding guide. Realistic tees replaces the flat, ugly and just silly looking dirty strips imitating tees with actually accurate 3D model tees, which affects all characters in the game. Download the main file and place the realistic tees folder to Dragon Age Origins override folder. The most popular and for reason NPC overhaul for Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age Redesigned, covers over 1200 NPCs, improving both face models and facial textures of nearly every named NPC in the game. Download the manual version from the optional files. Unzip the archive. Inside you will see several folders. First of all, rename the Dracomis Textures folder to DAO Redesigned Dracomis Textures as shown on the image now. That's to make sure the same mod folders have consistent naming and you know what's that one for. And place it to Dragon Age Origins override folder. Now go inside Versions folder and choose one folder there. Difference is explained on the mod page, but if you want my recommendation, go with the recommended folder. Rename the folder of your choice into DAO Redesigned Non-Companions and place it to Dragon Age Origins override folder. Next, let's go into Awakening folder. There, also choose between one of the first 3 folders. Rename the folder of your choice to DAO Redesigned Awakening and place it to Dragon Age Origins override folder. Now in the same folder, choose a version for Velanna. Rename the folder of your choice to DAO Redesigned Velanna and place it to Dragon Age Origins override folder. That's it, we will not use the companions model of this mod as it will be handled by the next one. Unique face textures for companions DAO edition is, in my humble opinion, the best companion face overhaul ever, made by a mod author well known on Witcher 3 modding stage for similar mods as well. It does not change anything drastically in the original companion's look, but greatly improving the details and adding only in some cases tiny new details that are not too much. Download both main files and place the L Companion Textures DAO and L Companion Textures Awakening folders to Dragon Age Origins override folder. Now your own character. HQ Eyebrow, Stubble and Scalp Hair Replacers provides a truly qualitative improvement for most of the basic facial textures during character creation. Download the main file, unzip it, make a new folder called HQ Eyebrow, Stubble and Scalp Hair Replacers, place all the mod texture files into it and then place this folder to Dragon Age Origins override folder. Now just 3 more mods to improve scenes you will constantly see during your walkthrough. Blood Retexture mod, to make it look more like actual blood and not a red colored jelly. Place the Blood Retexture folder to Dragon Age Origins override folder. Clouds Retextured mod, for absolutely beautiful cloud textures for base game and DLCs. Place the Clouds Retextured folder to Dragon Age Origins override folder. Two Moon Circle is a lore-friendly mod that adds the second moon, which actually exists in Dragon Age lore, Satina, to the night sky. Choose one of the two main files, difference shown on the mod page images. Place the Two Moon Circle atmosphere or the other one folder to Dragon Age Origins override folder. Now we'll make some extra needed improvements to combat and magic mechanics, and additionally, and most notably, add brand new warrior, rogue and mage specializations with dozens of new abilities. The NPC's rank system in Origins was probably the most irrational gameplay part ever. Random peasants and old fat nobles could have elite rank, while many of enemies categorized as ferocious and dangerous foes in lore, such as Harlocks and Genlocks, often had a creature rank. Abominations, terrible creatures who, as per Dragon Age lore, could easily slaughter entire village, have normal ranks, while on the other hand, Sir Cotrian is ranked as an elite boss, same as High Dragon. A human fighter, even highly experienced one, but not even a mage, is clearly not able to pose the same destructive threat to the realm as a 50 meters long fire-breathing monster. Well, you got the idea. Download the main file and the fix patch file. From the main mod file, place ZFCR folder to Dragon Age Origins override folder. Now grab the 1.ranks folder from the fix patch file and place it inside ZFCR mod folder, approving the overwriting. Now inside the ZFCR mod folder, delete all files and folders except the 1.ranks and 2.difficulty folders. Now go into difficulty folder and there remove everything except packages base FCR GDA file. That's it. The next two mod names speak for themselves. Getting mad of need to sheath your weapon as mage every time to cast a spell? No more. Tired of spells like chain lighting, all elemental storms and shapeshifting spells preparation time to last for eternity? No more either. Get the main file from spellcasting weapons drone and no slow casting file version from faster spellcasting. Go inside weapons drone folder. First grab the AB Con of Cold GDA file. Go inside the Dane's Fixes mod folder, which you have installed into your Dragon Age Origins override folder. Then bug fixes, Con of Cold folder and paste the file there. You will get an override prompt. Approve it. In the same way, replace a B ranged aim GDA file in bugfixes ranged aim speed folder, a B power of blood GDA file in bugfixes power of blood folder, and a B Winter's Grasp GDA file in Twix Winter's Grasp freeze folder. In this way, the 4 GDA files marked on the image now should be in respective inner folders of Dane's Fixes mod folder, and you should now have only one GDA file left in the Weapons Drone folder. Lastly, place the Weapons Drone folder itself to Dragon Age Origins override folder. As for the second mod, place No Slow Casting folder to Dragon Age Origins override folder. Did you know that elemental damage was capped at just 30% bonus? This made no sense, as you can easily reach 60% and even higher elemental damage bonuses, but this bonus will simply not just work fully. TSM Improved Elemental Damage simply uncaps this value, allowing your mages to truly unleash their full potential, and even more so with Dragon Age Revived installed, which adds tons of new items and so abilities to build up your character. Place TSM Improved Elemental Damage folder to Dragon Age Origins override folder. Another thing that makes no sense is that there are potions and crafting recipes for them of health and mana, but not stamina in the base game, and stamina potion exists only in Awakening DLC. Stamina Potion Recipe mod simply adds stamina potion recipes to purchase from Bodan store, so you can craft them normally in the base game, same as all other potions. Download the main file and install its DA-zip file with DA Updater. The next group of mods is, from a technical perspective, the most insane in a good meaning, considering the pretty limited mod making capabilities for this game. The Knight, Emerald Knight and Seeker of Truth for warriors. half-race and chantry agent for rogues, wild keeper, beastmaster and leech for mages, as well as grey warden and dragon disciple powers for player characters of any class. In total, 10 brand new specializations with unique passive and active abilities. Teleport to your enemy after obtaining combat powers from the Fate, immobilize them with magical roots as druid, breathe fire as a dragon disciple, summon undead minions and transcend the death itself as a leech, call upon holy powers of Andraste as the Seeker of Truth, and many other impressive abilities. While all these mods are 100% optional for you to install, I recommend to get them all as they are mostly highly lore friendly and simply amazingly made. You unlock them in a immersive way during certain game events or quests, same as additional vanilla specs. Their abilities have custom icons and descriptions, and there are even new artifacts you can find. On top of that, there are over 30 new items from the arsenal that Dragon Age Revived mod adds, that are made with these specializations in mind, providing effective stat bonuses for builds that use them. All these mods are installed in the same way. Download the mod file, unzip its archive, and then install its .zip file with DA updater. In this last section of the mod list, we will get several different mods to improve companion romances, general immersion, as well as add couple more utility features for more comfortable gameplay. First, a few mods to improve romances. They add new dialogue lines, interactions and even love-making scenes, which I will be not showing here for sake of not spoiling you and YouTube not bonking the hell out of this video monetization. For Alistair's First Night Love Scene mod, download the main file and place Dahlia First Night 3 folder to Dragon Age Origins override folder. As for improved romance scenes and fixes Alistair and Intrigues of an Antivan Crow, Zeran romance mods, download the indicated mod files and installation is the same for all three of them. Install their respective DAZ files with DA updater. Next, the Grave Wardens of Ferelden mod, that will give you Dragon Age 2 style Grave Warden armors and weapons, with higher poly models and beautiful textures in Origins. It also gives a new corresponding gear sets to all Grave Warden NPCs in the game, from Alistair and Duncan down to regular unnamed Wardens, highly boosting the immersion of the most important faction in the game. We need the mod itself and a few improvement patches for it. From the mod page, download both main files. From the Goblet the Gobbler page, download main file, Grave Wardens of Ferelden patch and Duncan's Dagger file. From the Rebalanced patch page, main file, and from Duncan Outfit, one of the main files. I personally prefer the heavy one. Main mod installation. Install the .zip file with DA updater and place only Grave Wardens of Ferelden folder to Dragon Age Origins override folder. The Gobbler files. From two additional file folders, place the pre-100 PT Ritual and two WDGR Dunstaba 0 files inside the main file folder. You should get an overwriting prompts. Approve those. Now place Goblet the Gobbler folder to Dragon Age Origins override folder. Rebalance patch. Place only ZZ TSM GVOF rebalance folder to Dragon Age Origins override folder. Duncan Outfit. Place ZZ Duncan Outfit folder to Dragon Age Origins override folder. Well done! Remember Morrigan's story describing how Flameth turned into a dragon and rescued you and Alistair from otherwise inevitable death in Tower of Ishal? Now you can actually see this in an immersive cutscene that feels like a part of a game itself. Download both main and optional files. From the main file, install the .zip file with the updater. From the optional file, place the Rescue at Ishal 4K upscale video package to Dragon Age Origins override folder. Fare ye well, Duncan adds a cutscene to the end of the final dialogue with Duncan before the Battle of Ostagar, in which Alistair and Duncan share one final handshake, something that had to be in the base game since the release. Make a new folder, name it Farewell Duncan, and put the files from the mod into it, and then place the folder to Dragon Age Origins override folder. Do not want to choose between your human companions and the furry ball of Bork? Then don't. Extra dog slot allows you to make your pet Mabari war dog a permanent 5th traveling companion, being able to summon or unsummon it anytime. Install the .zip file with the updater. Respecification for Dragon Age Origins allows to reset all your attribute, skill and talent points anytime, for any character of any class, even more useful in a modded game. Install the mod's .zip file with the updater. The No Helmet mod allows to hide helmets on your characters to always see their pretty faces, pretty much the same as it done in most of modern RPGs. This is purely cosmetically. Helmet itself still works as gear piece, giving protection and the set bonuses if present. Download both main files and install their respective zips with the updater. Red Cliff Siege is an epic fight in terms of storyline, but incredibly annoying because of how hard it is to keep everyone alive, which depends not even on your party strengths or skill, but simply because NPCs are often dying due to bad AI where they simply rush into hordes of undead like Rambos. Redcliffe Village Siege Immortal NPCs mod makes crucial NPCs in this quest not possible to die, allowing you to not save abuse the game, especially if you have already played it before. Place Redcliffe Siege Immortal Allies folder to Dragon Age Origins override folder. If you are enjoying building best possible relationships with your companions and presenting gifts to them, then you know how annoying it is to always be guessing which goes to whom, especially considering there are dozens of those gifts and some of them clearly fit to more than one companion from the logical perspective. Mad Gift Guide simply puts a companion name in front of each dedicated gift. Make a new folder, name it Mad Gift Guide, put the files from the mod into it and place the folder to Dragon Age Origins override folder. That's it folks. With 50 mods in your setup, you're ready to go through the game in a way you never did before. Good job on following this tutorial and have fun with the game. Remember that you can find even more mods in the complete modding guide linked down below, also with detailed installation instruction for every mod and compatibility notes, as well as guides on how an ultra-modded Dragon Age Origins with over 200 mods installed can look and play like. I have also linked a few optional mods you may be interested in at the end of this mod list document. If you want to support my future work on projects like this one and help me get through the winter during a war, you can do this at my Patreon page, linked down below as well. Stay tuned, stay safe and stay happy. Scimitar here, signing out.
But most of all, today we show the Grey Wardens that we remember and honor their sacrifice! For Ferelden! For the